Alexa, pause. Hello, folks. Today, we are really just digging through my cases, looking for stuff to sharpen, and I found some things. And I also have a customer knife that I'm going to do on camera, even though I don't want to do on camera. So, I'm going to show off some stuff, and then in a little bit we'll do some sharpening. I think we're going to sharpen this, though. My own Koenig Style 57. My favorite knife. Doesn't have an edge on it. It's got the factory edge. It cuts paper fine, but it's not super fine. Let's see. I mean, it's sharp. It's fine sharp. It's not at all dull. I mean, but I want my own edge on it. So we're going to do some light work on that. We might mirror that. And I'm probably going to work on this. Might do this first. What do you think? This is now on Leischwitz. I'm not looking forward to doing this because it's got a shitty heel. Kind of just fades off into the edge. But it's already been done that way, so I guess I just have to not screw it up worse than it is. It's just the way these custom knives are made. Sometimes they don't have little details like sharpening choil. So since we're going to do this Leischwitz, let's do that because I'm getting paid for it. This is customer knife. Getting a expensive mirror. Ooh, wow, that's crazy grind. It's got some interesting facets on the grind. You can see right there. The flat spot from the right there I can clamp though. But that front, I couldn't clamp on that front. I can clamp right there. Okay, it's kind of a wide knife, so we're going to have to squeeze it in here. Spread the jaws open quite a bit. And with the chamois cloth on it, it can be kind of hard sometimes. Oh, we're still a little bit too tight. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to line this tip to heel parallel on the flat spot of the blade. I already need to replace that strip screw. Man, I'm going through those a lot. I need to find better screws. There you go. Got a nice, good grip. Now, we're going to find the angle on this one very carefully because I don't want to redo it. I don't want to reprofile this edge. I want to do it with the least amount of force as possible. I just want to do it light sharpening. This edge actually has some chips in it, though. So we are going to actually have to do some work. The tip's got a couple jags. It's not visually chipped up, but you can feel the tip's got some issues. But this heel that just fades off into the ricasso, I have to be very light-handed in this to not make it obvious that I did work on it. So my least favorite kind of ricasso. So let's find the angle. Carefully find the angle. This is one of those times where it's worth it to spend an extra minute dialing in the angle because it's going to make the whole process easier than speeding through it, you know. So we have our 150 grit stone. Oh, at that angle, it hits the plastic. There we go. Okay, we're lowering and taking little swipes on the edge. I'm going to refresh the Sharpie. Pretty low angle, or pretty high angle, I mean. I think we're there. We're pretty low, to be honest. Okay, let's see what it looks like on their side. Always check both sides when you're using the Sharpie method, because sometimes one side's really bad and you can take the average of them. Sometimes they don't match or you're clamped wrong. This is about the same as it is on the other side. So now we're going to take this. This is the angle we're going to use-ish. And we're going to find what the closest angle to this is. This is 24 degrees, basically. So we're going to take it to 24 exactly. So we have a reference point to come back to when we strop, and if we ever have to take the knife out of the sharpener and put it back in. So 24 degrees. Take another swipe of Sharpie. It's nice having a fresh Sharpie to do that. It's satisfying. They wear out fast because they get all cut up. Okay, we're looking good at 24 degrees. So we got our angle. Now we're going to do our tape off. Who is joining me today? It's awfully quiet in the comment section, which is a big bummer. It's more fun if people are here to hang out with me. So we're going to tape this off up to where we want to be able to possibly sharpen. Now here's the deal with these edges that terminate into like ricostas like this. You can't really profile it without leaving a notch. So you need to be very light-handed at the heel and just kind of feather and lift it out because you don't want to leave a sharp edge. So I've done this before where I used to use zip ties and I'd sharpen hard up to the zip tie like a Spyderco flat grind. I did it on custom knives and shit. And it kind of fucking sucks because it leaves an obvious mark that it's been sharpened. So when you have a heel like this, you're going to want to feather and light touch it in. It doesn't look very good regardless. It's just the way it's made. It's just the way it's made. So you got to make the most of it without damaging the knife. Okay. Set 24 degrees. Got our 150 grit stone. Now we're going to lightly do this edge. I forgot to test how sharp it was. Let's see if we can get the cut paper. Yeah, a little bit. A lot of times I forget to test how dull stuff is. Usually I forget to test how dull. I just assume it's dull, someone sent it to me, so I just go from there. It doesn't make much of a difference if the knife is dull or if it's sharp. I'm still going to have to apex the edge if I sharpen it. Okay, let's see. Light-handed. I'm going to do the heel lightly now. It is an odd feeling when people entrust me, some dude on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, to sharpen their expensive knives. They just send in the mail and assume they get to me and assume I'll take care of them. It's an odd feeling. Okay, we got a burr. We're going to fade this heel a little more and try to get it a little bit sharper. I don't want to put too much work into the heel. I don't want it to be obvious that it stops. Greg Baker Jr., holla at you, boy. Thanks for joining, Greg. Who else? Who else is here? Who else is creeping in the comments? Ready to pounce. So we got a burr. This steel is soft. It's a Damascus steel. It's not going to be super difficult to sharpen. See, and our effort of finding the right angle is going to make our job a hell of a lot easier. So 24 degrees is dead on this side. This is going to make this quick. We're just doing little tapered out strokes from the heel lightly to keep it faded looking. And we're going to flip. That side was pretty dead on. We got a burr all throughout the edge. It's a very not difficult steel to get one. So now we're just going to do light passes and reduce the burr. We're sharpening already though. We got it burr on both sides. So now it's just a game of make it look nice and reduce the size of the burr, make it sharp. So we're going to say that's enough work at the heel. If the heel doesn't get 100% sharp, so be it. I'd rather do that than ruin the finish. Okay, now we're going to switch to 400 grit stone. We're going to mirror this, I assume. Let me double check. Who's this? Is this not Randy's? I assume he wants a mirror. We're going to go with that if he doesn't say. He sent me knives. He marked, I happen to know his name is not the same as it was on Instagram, so I knew whose knife it was. But he didn't say anything about it. He didn't even tell me this was coming. I asked what he sent. He didn't even tell me, so I guess we're mirroring it for fun. His last knife I did was mirrored, so show me what's the same. So this one we're going to take up to 2,000 grit. So we really need to make sure on these lower stones we've gotten our scratches out, and we figure out how we're going to transition at the heel. They're looking pretty good. Just kind of leaving it alone, to be honest. What up, Jordan? Yes, I started with 150 just because every edge has enough imperfections in it that I need to profile something out. So I always start at 150. It's excessive for most people. This is a pretty soft steel too, but I always start there. It just makes my life easier. It's not a big deal to get the scratches out. These stones don't leave a ton of scratches, so like 150 is aggressive, but it's a nice looking finish. It looks like factory finish from Spyderco is what 150 looks like on its own, but it cuts pretty quick. Okay. Okay, we're doing 400 again. Then we're going to move on to 800. We're just quickly reducing the burr, making sure everything is looking good. And there's no obvious different sheens showing, like matte spots or shiny spots. $800 grit halfstone CBN. I'm looking at getting the 600 grit just for fun. I want to see how it finishes. I'm looking at getting a 240 grit, have some different edge finish options, but right now these stones are doing me just fine. I just kind of want it for fun. You're just getting scratches out. The 800 pretty much kills the burr. The stone is kind of like makes it crumble. After this, you don't really need it. You don't really notice it. So this is going to be a nice knife when this is all done. It's looking pretty good right now. Okay. I'm going to move up to 2,000 grit. So we go 800 to 2,000. And I know some people think that's a big jump, but this is the actual set, the progression that Hapstone sells. There is stones in between. There's a 1,000 grit stone and a 1,500 grit stone. But I will say going from 800 to this 2,000 basically gives you, for all purposes, a mirror. It gives, I'm going to do this one to 5,000 because it's a special knife. But like for most knives, I just do a mirror at 2,000. So that's the last stone you need, really. This is just for shits and giggles. We're going to go to 5,000 and make it extra shiny because it's a fancy knife, and it's going to charge a little bit more for this than a Spyderco, even if it takes about the same time because the stress level is much different. This is much more stressful sharpening this, especially on camera. So if you guys are not already and you're watching this, go to YouTube and subscribe to the Millie Club channel. I am focusing on content on there now. Jason's got a ton of videos of reviews and stuff he did a while ago. But all the FFIBs we've done recently and all the important ones are uploaded there. And all these live videos I've been doing get automatically recorded and uploaded to the live video section. So if you want to see more of this awesomeness, go check it out there and subscribe. Subscribe and follow. Okay, 5,000 grit for shits and giggles. Now we're just, it's already a mirror. We're just polishing the mirror up to a brighter mirror. The heel turned out pretty good, I hope. You never know until you take the tape off. Make sure it transitions nicely. But didn't ding it up with a big stone or anything. So that's always a plus. I hope I took the chips out. I didn't even check. Damn it. I just kind of sharpened it without checking to make sure the chips are gone. So hopefully we're not redoing this. But if we do, so be it. Okay. Now we're going to strop on the device. We're going to strop with 0.5 micron gunny juice. We're at 24 degrees. We're going to zero it again. So we have to go up. Oh, Jordan, the reason I stress it is this is not my knife, and it's a $2,000 knife. So if I fuck it up, I don't want it to be documented me fucking it up. Yes, we're all friends in here, but makes you really question what you're doing and like kind of not be fully there in your head when you're sharpening when you're on video. Because you're talking and I'm trying to carry this along and make it go fast and not waste time doing things we don't need to do, and you can get away from you. So I like these to be as succinct as possible, so I don't over sharpen. I try not to, but normally when I'm on my own, I do over sharpen a lot just because I get lost in the process trying to make it perfect. This turned out really good. I think he will be quite happy with this. And we'll strop it with another strop too for fun. Okay. Now we're going to switch to a 0.25 micron strop. So now at this point, it's really just for shits and giggles. Like, it's a mirror. It looks awesome. I'm going to keep on doing this for a second. But, like, I have another strop that's beyond this. We don't need to keep on going because it's already really good. I have a 0.1 micron strop, but we don't need to do that. So we're using gunny juice, which is a diamond emulsion. If you're stropping, you need to be using a diamond emulsion. If you're using the green paste that comes with your strop for free, there's a reason it comes for free. It's not very good. And we have one hell mirrored edge now on this Allen Leischwitz. The package that this knife was sent in, which this is like somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 probably. The package that this was sent in had two other knives that totaled $60 in value. 70 or 80. And then this. So it was quite a diverse package to get. So I got take the tape off, see how the edge ends. Oh, good. I didn't mess it up. Oh, beautiful. There's our mirror. 5,000 grit half-stone CBN mirror on this Allen Leishowitz. On this Allen Leishowitz 5,000 grit mirror. Shines pretty good. And this is rated in GIS grit. I don't know how grit stuff works, but these stones, these half-stone stones are JIS grit rated. And that's what this means for whatever the fuck that means. Cool lock on the side. Turned out beautifully. Oh, I'm happy with this one. Let's get a little bit of shit off the bevel. A little marker off there. Sometimes the marker scares me. Like, I'll think it's like I did something wrong. It's just leftover marker. Sometimes I think the marker won't come off. It's quite stubborn on some steels. On DLC coating it is, too. It comes off, but it's a pain in the ass. This whole edge is markered up. Okay. Okay. Now we've got finished product. There we go. It's beautiful. Okay. Knife number 1 we sharpened. Now let's take a little break. Thank you, Jake. That turned out good. Sometimes you just have to take your time. Like, it's weird when you're sharpening. Like, I just took my time, and it took as long as it takes me to sharpen anyway. So sometimes you go slow. It's slow is fast. You know what I'm saying? We're just doing less work than I do on a Spyderco. Sharpening system I'm using is a TS Prof Cadet with Hapstone Premium CBN stones. It's a nice little get up. These are about $400 for the non-pro version. So this is just the Cadet Nero. You can get these for $387, I believe, on TS Prof's website. The only thing is you have to buy. You don't have to, but I suggest you buy the center clamp if you get this machine, because it comes with 2 separate clamps that go over here from the factory, and it's hard to put a knife between them because they're too far apart. So the center clamp works really well. The other system I've been using is a Hapstone RS, which is a similar system. It does the same thing, sharpens the same knives. When I get used to it, it'll probably be just as fast. This is a $200 system, though, and it's basically as good as that. I'm just not used to it yet. It's got some things that are better, things that are worse. But this is a $200 system that will do the same as that. This is a huge upgrade from a KME or a Work Sharp. If you're looking at anything like a Work Sharp, you definitely, this is a big upgrade. Thank you, Jordan. Oh no, I'm not worried about that. It's just some knives have details that I'm like aren't my best strengths, and I don't. Yeah, it turned out really well though. I'm happy. Someone taught me how to do those heels like that. Is there a trick to sharpening wavy blades like a Kershaw Scallion, or used to the same way as a normal shape? Actually, if you mean a recurve, so like I don't even have one. Like a subvert has a recurve, a mild one. This is the only recurve I own. If you mean like this, where it goes up, it's called a recurve. You're supposed to use thin stones, they suck. They're not good. I won't sharpen recurves on my stones because it's bad for my stones. Because you're only using the edges and it like rounds off the edges. So I like to keep my stones crispy. So I won't do recurves. The trick is to probably, I don't know, get thin stones. They make stones specifically for recurves. I just don't do them. I'll inevitably straighten out that edge. Yes. Exactly. That's what will happen if you use normal stones, is it will eat everything up. The knife I screwed up the worst ever sharpening was a recurve. Well, I'm going to save this for the next video. Style 57. We did one expensive knife on this video. What else do you guys want to see out of my collection or have me talk about or any interest? Talk about shit on my desk. This is my 57. This is probably my favorite non-Spyderco knife. It's got skiff bearings in it, which some people poo-poo and say you shouldn't do, but I did it a long time ago, and it is my smoothest operating knife I own, so I'm going to leave them in. The work that Bill does is phenomenal, though. Like, his milling work, it's hard to capture on camera because it's so small and subtle. That's just great. His hand satin blades, he does himself. This is numbered. I think mine's numbered like, it's on the inside. You can't read it unless you open it up. Gen 4 batch 5. I don't remember what number mine is. Like 100 or 89 or 132 or I don't know. But these used to be $1,000 at Blade Show, and Koenig prices have gone up significantly. Koenig prices now, it's funny, like you'll see stuff in the buy sell trade group and you'll like think it's expensive, and then that year's Blade Show will come and the new price point for Koenig is like what stuff in the buy sell trade was going for. Makes sense. That's what the street value is. That's what you should be charging. But yeah, Koenigs are, this is like $1,500 now if it was at Blade Show. What was the spray to remove the Sharpie? This is Gunny Glow, which is just a cleaning product from Scott Gunn, Gunny EDC. He does a pretty poor job labeling what the product does on the front of the bottle, but Gunny Glow is just an all-purpose cleaner. It's safe. It doesn't stink. It's not like bleach or anything. But the most important thing to get the Sharpie off is a magic eraser. You can do it dry. That blade was just really porous and rough, so it needed it. But all you really need is a magic eraser. And then you want to pull off the edge. Be careful if you slide down the edge. I've cut myself. It's really easy to do. This does not provide very much protection quickly from your fingers if it starts slipping. Yeah, dude, the milling is nuts. But yeah, this is such a good knife. If you never handled a Koenig, you really should handle one. And if you have a chance, handle a Style 57. They're just made a little bit differently. I can't even describe it. They're just smoother. They actually weigh a little bit less. I've weighed both of them. They're just dialed in. They're amazing knives. Here's my Oz. It's my other cool. This is my knife of the year for 2023. So I was excited to pick this up. I won in a lotto after many, many, many tries for a year and a half, basically trying almost every week that he did one. I've won one in this configuration. This is 1558. So I'm like 2,300 now. The blue ano and the radial milling pattern, I think it's dope. This is a keeper. I sharpened it as soon as I got it. Not letting go of this one. The secondary on these isn't bad anymore. That's what's cool is if you want a Roosevelt and you've been like shying away from getting one because you think they're too expensive, go to the Roosevelt buy sell trade group and like they're not a ton more than they were new, if at all. PJs go for like basically new price. Fancier ones like this are a bit more, but like a PJ Roosevelt you can get for like 800 or less. Do you wear matching socks? I am a sock snob, sir. I only wear darn tough socks. I have 10. I just got rid of all my older ones from like 6, 7 years ago. And I have 20 pairs currently of darn tough socks. And the ones I wear are called the Element, I believe. They're the running sock. And they're the perfect everyday sock. And they stay nice and toasty and cool and dry and all that crap. But yeah, darn tough socks are my jam. I definitely wear matching socks. Yeah, I understand not justifying buying one, but it's just cool to like feel what a really dialed in knife feels like. American made one, especially. Uh, and if you visit Bill Koenig's shop and see how he does everything, you'll be blown away. And like the extra level of precision they go through compared to a lot of other makers is pretty awesome. I am a socks and a hoodie aficionado. Fact. This is my office hoodie rack. If I can bend my camera down, there's about, I don't know, there's like 6 or 7 on each of these little hooks. Oh, there's like 20 something hoodies right there. They're all zip ups except for 2. What up? Back down to my desk. I'm wearing a House of Blanks hoodie at the moment. It's my favorite brand of clothing, period. It's a very ethical, cool, well made, functional, simple, unbranded pieces of clothing. House of Blanks are made in Canada. I know the owner. Admit I am their number one retail customer in the world. I bought more from them than any other individual because I like their stuff so much. So their hoodies are awesome. Like medium heavyweight, not heavy, but heavier than a typical sweatshirt. 100% cotton. They just fit me. So if you have like, an average dude bod with a little bit of a gut, they fit and they don't make you feel like skinny fit or anything like that. They're just awesome. And my Jordan collection. My collection is actually primarily Air Max 90s. I have one pair of Jordans. But since this summer, I started wearing Nike running shoes, and I realized they're a lot more comfortable than my. I was just so lazy because I got fat to tie my shoes, so I wear Nike Air Max 90s because I can just slip my feet into them pretty easily, leave them tied. But since I've been like making the effort to wear running shoes, I'm more productive. They're lighter, they're more comfortable. So I just bought a pair of Nike. Uh, what are they called? Fucking Pegasus 40s and Nike Vomero 17s, and those are my jam right now. Is what I've been wearing. I'm really liking them. Nike running shoes. House of Blanks is the hoodie place. The other one I got recently, that's pretty dope. It's from Brave Star Selvage. This one is my heaviest weight hoodie. It is super heavy. This thing weighs 2.5 pounds. It's a heavy garment. It's like wearing a blanket. But this is made in America. This is like a $130 hoodie. Brave Star Salvage, 100% cotton, heavy as shit. I love wearing this thing. It's quite fun to sleep in without a blanket, to be honest. I love it. This is my newest acquisition. And it's got a spilled on it. I got some beans on it. What tis up, Quantavious Washington? I'm glad you guys are watching on YouTube because it's building my YouTube hours up. Because we've been doing so many of these and people have been actually watching them on YouTube, which I never really thought about. I just uploaded stuff and it's gone and never thought about it again. But we're getting close to being able to be monetized on this channel. We should be able to be there within a month or two if it keeps on trending the way it's been trending. We will be there very soon, which is cool. So thanks for watching on YouTube. What other cool knives I have here? My coolest knife I have. I can tell this story. This is the coolest knife I have. This is the Para 3 lightweight prototype, the original prototype for the knife. This was given to me from Eric Glesser out of his pocket the first time I met him at Eugene Knife Show in 2019. I talked to him and I showed him my photos in my pocket and my phone. And I had just taken the picture with all the knives fanned out. And I showed him that. And then we talked for a long time and he gave me this. And this is what sealed the deal. This is the reason the group is still like kicking the way it is this like inspired me to do what I do in this hobby. Like I was doing what I did before, but this locked me in. And so him giving me this knife was one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. So it's special. It stays in my case. I don't carry it. But when I got it, it was used and abused and had tape, gunk, and all sorts of shit on it. So that's my coolest knife. Stays in my case just for telling stories. What did you do before going to sharpening biz? I went to college at Oregon State University for construction engineering management. I need to pin this. And I did that for 16 years. It wore me out. It beat me up, stressed me out, gave me bipolar episodes, fucked my life up, made me alcoholic at one point. Like it's just a bad industry. It's stressful. I didn't like it. So I just, one day I was complaining like I always do to my therapist. And she said, why don't you quit? And I took that as someone giving me permission finally to do what I wanted to do and quit. And so I announced I was quitting to everybody that night, told the wife. We kind of did some math to see if it'd work, which it's working-ish. But sharpening just keeps me afloat. Like it keeps me in hoodies and it keeps me in shoes and knife shit. Like it's not a living by any means. Like my wife does very well, so I'm lucky that she can pay the bills. Sharpening is just cash for me to live. Pays for my gas, pays for my drugs, pays for my car. I mean, that's about it. Sharpening is not something you can live off of unless you have a ton of business, and it's really hard to maintain that. So my problem with trying to maintain a flow of work is I'll get really motivated and I'll do a bunch of stuff and then I'll blow through everything I have, but I haven't been advertising because I have been going slow. So, and it takes a while for stuff to trickle in after you advertise because people have to mail it, which takes forever. Sometimes you'll get back to me like 3 months later with the tracking number after my last time I talked to them. So right now I'm basically caught up with everything that I had and I'm looking for more. And see, here's the problem. That's why it's difficult to make a living off of it when I have time right now, but I have nothing to sharpen. Thank you, Quantavious. I wasn't pinned to the top. I just added it. Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was a decent paying job. It was a good paying job. It was, but the stress that you're dealing with for the amount of money that you're making and how much you're fucking up your life, it's just not my personality type. I procrastinate stuff for sure. And you can't be a procrastinator in construction because it comes back and bites you in the ass every single time. And I've been bitten in the ass enough times that I was just always perpetually scared. Running scared. It was cool though. I like building stuff. I built some really cool things. I built the hospital. I built a major league soccer stadium. Built data centers. I built labs. I've built clean rooms. I've built stores, hospitals, offices. I worked at Adidas for 4 years and built Kanye West Yeezy department. I did all sorts of shit. I worked at a lot of cool projects. I got really lucky with my career that I always got stuck with like the right team. But the right team had to bail me out of stressful situations enough times that I was just over it. What else is going down? Okay, I think our next video, I'm going to sharpen the style 57. We'll see how long that takes, and if it's fast, we'll sharpen the stage. So that'll be tonight's video. I'm going to wrap this up for now, and I will talk to you guys all later. Peace out. Thank you for joining me. It was fun. Bye.